Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Friday, August 14th edition of Pilates for Yogis. Today, we're going to use our block as usual, and we're also going to use a yoga strap. And for the first time, we'll use the Pilates ball if you have one. If you don't have one, it's fine. You can use a large folded up or rolled up towel, or maybe even a little couch cushion. We'll start standing up. We're going to grab our yoga strap and do our butterfly series. I'm going to lower the screen just a little bit so you can see a little more of my feet. Okay, that ought to work. Let's take that strap, put it behind your neck, hold the arms out long. You're actually pulling on the strap a little bit. Let's stand with parallel legs. We're going to take the legs just a little further apart so they're about shoulder width apart. We want to elevate our spine and lengthen it as we allow the shoulder blades to relax down. And we're going to pull the abdominal wall and maybe the lower ribs into the body. As we inhale, we side bend to the right. Nothing else happens. Nice lateral flexion in the spine. As we exhale, come back up and inhale, side bend to the left. And exhale up. Nice slow breathing. Our moves follow the speed of the breath. We just want to pay attention and be aware of everything happening in the body as we do this. Are we a little more restricted on one side? Is one side harder or easier than the other? Are we stabilizing our shoulder blades and are we keeping equal weight in each foot? Last one to the left. And come back to center. We'll lower the arms for a second. We're going to take that right leg forward, stand on the floor, take the left leg slightly behind and make sure the feet are not lined up. So we're standing in a split stance. We want to make sure our hips are still facing to the front. Now, all the muscles in the legs are really strong and contracted. Arms out to the side. We're going to be going to the same direction now. We're going to inhale, side bend. And exhale, come back up. Your balance is a little more challenged. Again, inhale, side bend. And exhale, come back up. One more time, then we'll add on. Inhale, side bend. And exhale, come up. So now we're going to add a twist. We inhale, go to the side bend first. Keeping the arms locked into the shoulders, we exhale, just twist the rib cage downward, twisting like a propeller. Notice the legs resisting you. Inhale, untwist. You're still in the side bend. Exhale, come upright. And we'll do that 2 more times. This flows really smoothly. We don't hit any bumps. Deep twist right here. Come back out of the twist and come back up. The legs have to work hard to stay straight as we're doing this little movement. Exhale, twist. Keep the legs straight. Inhale, untwist, and exhale, come back up. We'll give the arms a little rest, switch the legs. Not standing with the legs too far apart. You want to be comfortable. Check your hips, make sure they're pivoted facing to the front, not pivoted to the right. Arms out. We'll start with 3 side bends to the left. And come back to center. If you have a really good eye, you'll notice I'm a little more restricted side bending this side. And one more time. Coming back to the center. Now adding on the twist, we'll inhale, side bend to the left. And we exhale, twist downward like a propeller. Keep those legs really strong and straight. Inhale, untwist. Exhale, come upright. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, twist. Inhale, untwist. Exhale, come upright. We'll do 1 more. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, twist. Inhale, untwist. And exhale, come upright. And we'll relax the arms. So we're done with the strap. Go ahead and set the strap aside. I'm going to lower my laptop because we're going to be going down to the mat in a second. So get your mat in place if it's not already there. Make sure that alongside you, you have your block, your Pilates ball, and a towel to go under your head if necessary. Let's go ahead and come down to the mat. Face the same direction I'm facing, which will be this. Okay, we're going to warm up the abdominals and the spine a little bit. We're going to just bring our legs together and let the knees bend a little bit, not too much. Just the legs are almost straight here, but the knees are slightly bent. We're going to come up to a tall, straight spine, flat back. Bring the arms forward. Instead of reaching the arms out and rounding the shoulders, we want to keep the arms connected to the shoulder joints. We'll inhale. We'll exhale, take the C curve in the spine, roll back about halfway. And pause, inhale, check the shoulders to make sure they're relaxed down. Exhale, roll back up. As you take an easy inhale, just flatten the back a bit. We'll do it again. Exhale, rounding back in the C curve, pausing to inhale, and exhale, coming up. And inhale, lengthen and flatten the spine. And exhale, let's go 3/4 of the way down. Pause, inhale, and exhale, roll up. And inhale, flat back. We're going to go 3/4 of the way down again. Exhale, and bring your elbows to the floor. There, we're ready to shiver. The legs are going to shiver. The legs are going to do a drum roll. We're going to separate the legs by just a few inches. We want to lengthen out our spine. Lengthen out the neck. The head is lifted, but the chin is not crunched into the chest. The collarbones are wide, the belly's pulled in, the lumbar spine is actually slightly rounded instead of arched. And here we go for the first round. Breathing and shivering the legs. The heels are just bouncing up and down on your mat. And rest. Now the goal is to make these really energetic and really small. Let's do it again. And breathe. And rest. Take a breath or two. Be sure you're not dropping into the shoulders. Lift out of the shoulders. And here we go. Last one. And relax. Bend your knees a little bit more. We're going to lie down on the mat in home position. And since we're warming up the body, we'll go right into the 100. So you have a choice for the 100 as you're lifted up. You can keep one hand behind the head, pump one arm. But if the neck is okay, you'll pump both arms. Legs to tabletop. Knees above the hip joints, shins parallel to the floor. The abdominal muscles imprint the low back onto the mat. We'll lift up into our chest lift position. We'll bring either both arms forward or one arm forward. We start pumping the arms and breathing. Arms stay straight. The movement comes from the shoulders. The neck is relaxed. If you like, straighten the legs up to the ceiling. Keep pumping the arms. If you want to make it a little harder still, lower the legs about 45 degrees. If you have a hand behind the head, switch hands, pump the other arm. Keep that connection between the pelvis and the rib cage. Keep pumping the arms. If your legs are at 45, bring them back up. Keep pumping the arms. If your legs are up, bend the knees. Keep pumping the arms. And 5 more. And rest, come down. Very nice. Grab your block or your Pilates ball. I'm gonna grab the Pilates ball. It's gonna go between the knees. I'm gonna do our introductory bridge here with the ball between the knees. The block is fine too, or like I say, a roll up towel. If you have a towel behind your head, go ahead and remove that. Visualize your spine lengthening out, getting longer, taking out the curves in the spine for now. We'll inhale, we exhale, we tuck the pelvis, the pubic bone lifts, the belly draws in, and we peel our spine up off the mat by pushing the feet into the mat and lifting the pubic bone. Inhale at the top, exhale slowly lower. Inhale as the lumbar spine rolls down to the mat. You're in your neutral here. Exhale, tuck, float the hips up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, float the spine down. Your spine comes down as if you were lowering a string of pearls to the tabletop. Inhale and exhale. Pick up one end of the string of pearls, lift it up. The other end of the pearls stay on the mat. And exhale, lower. One vertebra at a time. Okay, now really hold those abdominals, press the low back against the mat and lift both legs up to tabletop, squeezing the ball or the block, arms out to the side along the floor, airplane position. Inhale, pivot the hips toward your screen. Let's all go to the right. Exhale, legs back to center. Inhale, pivot the hips away from your screen. Your opposite shoulder stays down. And exhale to center. And inhale, hips pivot to the right. And exhale to center. Inhale, hips pivot to the left. This beautiful twist of the spine here. Exhale, back to center. Each time you come to the center, that low back imprints on the mat, and then you're ready to go out to the right. And back to center. And inhale out to the left. And back to center. Let's do one more each side just because we can. Inhale out. Exhale back in. And inhale out. And exhale back in. Okay, let's remove the ball. We'll lower it 1 foot at a time. And then we'll put the ball or the block back between the knees. Hands go behind the head. Just inchworm your body around and lengthen out your spine, getting ready for chest lift. In our chest lift, the goal is not to lift as high as possible necessary. The goal is to lift into a beautiful curve of the spine and the neck and keep the spine as elongated as possible. We inhale to prepare. The belly draws in and we exhale, lift up. And we pause and inhale and we exhale, lower. We'll inhale at the bottom, stay in the work, no relaxing. Exhale, lift. Pause, inhale, and exhale, lower. Inhale at the bottom, let's keep going. So the hands are barely supporting the head. The hands are not pushing the head up. You almost don't need the hands, right? They're very light, slinky hammock for the head. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift. Pause, inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale at the bottom. We are going to add on now. Exhale, lift. Pause, inhale. And let's exhale, twist the rib cage to the right. And inhale back to center. Relax the arms and the shoulders. Twist the rib cage to the left. And inhale to center. And twist the rib cage to the right. And inhale to center. And twist the rib cage to the left. And inhale to center. We'll do one more each way. And then last one to the left. Inhale to center. Make sure you're nice and lifted here. And then we'll exhale, control it down. Good. So let's remove the block or the ball, set it aside. We will roll up to sitting. And hopefully you have a ball. We're going to put the ball against our mid-back, about at the bottom of the shoulder blades, and we're going to lie down on the ball. If you have a block instead, I think the block might work too, but the ball is going to be much more comfortable. So we're going to lie down on the ball. And we want to get a nice back bend here. So let's all put our hands behind the head first so we can relax the neck. And we'll drape our spine over the ball. So you should feel the heart opening up. I don't want you to feel the belly opening up. We want to try to keep our lumbar spine essentially neutral and try to get the arch in the thoracic spine, the upper half of the spine. Now really, with the knees bent, really attach those feet to the floor. And that means all 10 toes too. And firm up the abdominals, draw them in a little bit, take an inhale and exhale, lift into a chest lift. And now inhale, just lower back down. And exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. You have a connection between the lower ribs and the pelvis right here. So we don't want to let that connection go. We don't really want that connection to stretch out here as we roll over the ball. So just open up the rib cage. One more time, lifting up. And now just lower halfway so your spine feels like it's essentially straight. Firming up the abdominals again, we'll lift up the right leg. Just bring the knee in kind of close to the right collarbone and set that leg back down. And then we'll exhale, lift up the left leg. And inhale, left foot down. That's going to be the leg movement. Let's drape over the ball. We inhale. We exhale, lift into chest lift as we lift the right leg. We inhale, everything lowers. Other leg, exhale up. And inhale, lower. And right leg up, and inhale, lower. And you have to balance on your ball, and lower. Right leg up, inhale, lower. Left leg up, inhale, lower. Now we're going to get fancy. We're going to add a twist. Right leg up, lift and twist the rib cage to the right. Inhale, unwind out of the twist, come back down. Now to the left, exhale up, twist, and inhale down. And lift, twist to the right. Inhale down. And lift, twist to the left. Inhale down. One more time each side. And inhale down. And to the left, exhale up. And inhale down. Lift up one more time, upper body only, leave the feet down. Now hold lifted and see if you can bring the top of your head just a little closer to the ceiling by lengthening out that rounded spine. And then we'll drape over the ball and we'll just hold in a stretch for 2 breaths. Some of you can get your head all the way to the floor without any neck tension. If that's you, go ahead and let go of your head. Most of us will have to keep the hands behind the head to keep the neck comfortable. Now lift back up to a chest lift position. We are looking forward, straighten out both legs, squeeze the legs together, point the feet. Okay. Hollow out your belly, lengthen out the low spine, let go of the head. Bring the arms forward and slightly up, palms face in. Keep those arms attached into the shoulder joints. So we're going to do 1 roll up. We inhale and we exhale. We float upward. And we'll inhale at the top. Let's reach around and move the ball out of the way. We're going to do a roll down to come back down. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, spine goes into C curve. We roll back slowly all the way. We inhale, arms come up and overhead. We'll circle the arms around. Let's go to another bridging exercise. This is your home position. We're going to be moving the legs just like we did a few minutes ago. Inhale first. Exhale, tuck the pelvis and float the pubic bone up to the ceiling. Before we start, make sure you're in a long straight line from knees to upper spine. No arch in the low back. You want to think about the knees moving further away from the rib cage. And without changing any of that, exhale and lift up the right leg, keeping the right knee bent. And inhale, lower the right foot. And now left leg up. Exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. As you keep doing these movements, pay attention to the hips and make sure that one hip bone doesn't drop when the leg lifts up. We want the hips to stay squared up. Let's do 1 more each side. Left leg is last. And inhale, lower. So we don't just fall down out of here. We want to check and make sure our form is still good. I need to lift the hips up a little more. Keeping the arch out of the low back, breathing. 1 more inhale. And exhale, lower one vertebra at a time. All right, we have single leg stretch, double leg stretch, hamstring pull, and crisscross. Let's take the hands behind the head. Lift up into a chest lift position. Legs come to tabletop, one leg at a time. We're going to bring the right knee in a little closer, and we're going to extend the left leg out long. Essentially, the feet are lined up with each other in this. In other words, the feet might be touching the ceiling together if they were touching the ceiling. Let's lift the chest up a little higher. We'll switch the legs and switch. And you can keep going and keep your hands behind your head, or you can not bother with your head and just kind of embrace the knee as it comes in toward the chest. Not everybody is comfortable keeping the head lifted without support. So if that's you, both hands behind your head. One more each side. The right leg comes out straight last. Now let's bring the legs to tabletop, bring them together, and again, bring the knees in closer. The chest lifts a little higher. Take your hands behind your head, lengthen your neck, double leg stretch. You may keep one hand behind the head and circle a single arm as we do the exercise, or you may take both arms out and just let the head float. I'm going to do it that way. We're going to do 8 in all. After 4, change hands behind the head. We inhale, arms and legs out. We exhale, the arms circle around as the knees come back in. And inhale and exhale. And reach out and circle in. And reach out and circle in. We have 4 more to go. You're floating effortlessly. And one more time. All right, head down to the mat. Let's take the left leg along the mat, point the left foot. That leg is long and straight. Right leg long and straight, it's up to the ceiling. Gently pull the leg in more. Hands behind the head, lift up into chest lift position. Again, you can keep both hands behind the head, or you can lightly embrace the knee. Let's pulse the right leg twice and switch and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse, and exhale, and exhale. Little tiny pulse of that upper leg. Try not to pulse the rest of the body. And we'll do 2 more each side. And left leg is up last. Let's all bring the hands down behind the head, lower the head, and we'll pull both knees into the chest. We'll take a very short break. And let's go right into our crisscross. We'll have one hand on each knee. We'll lift up. Then we'll take the hands behind the head. Legs are slightly apart. Right knee comes in, left leg out long. Let's twist to the right toward that bent knee, and then we'll switch. Switch legs, twist the other way. Exhale, exhale, and kick, and kick, and reach, and reach, and exhale, and exhale. A few more to go. Last 2. We'll finish with the left knee in. That way we're even on both sides. And we come down gracefully and beautifully. Full body stretch. Arms out long, legs out long. Take a big inhale, open up the rib cage. And exhale. And we'll do 2 more breaths just like that. Last exhale, we'll bring the arms up and alongside us. Let's do another bridge. We're going to need our ball or block. They're going to go between the knees. Give a little squeeze on that ball. You will get points off if you drop the ball. Inhale first. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, float the hips up. And check to make sure that your hip bones are squared up. And we're just going to straighten the right leg. Hopefully you don't drop the right hip bone. We're going to hold and breathe. And we'll bend the right knee and return the right foot to the floor. Hopefully you don't have to lift anything back up. Let's straighten the left leg. If you have a ball, the ball does not roll around. The ball holds perfectly still. And bend the left knee. Okay, lift the pubic bone just a little higher. And we're going to exhale, come down, take a little break. Stay right there. Keep the ball between the knees. Inhale and exhale, tuck the pelvis, roll up again. Straighten your right leg. Hold the hips squared up. Bring your left arm up to the ceiling. And if you want to really challenge yourself, bring the other arm up to the ceiling. Hold and breathe. And then bring the right arm down. Then bring the left arm down. Bend the right knee. Good. Hopefully you didn't have to adjust your hips. Left leg is straight now. Hold and breathe. Right arm up. If you'd like to challenge yourself more, left arm up. Wherever you are, take another breath. And then left arm down, right arm down. Bend the knee, foot to the floor. Hopefully you didn't have to adjust your hips. One more inhale. Exhale, move the sacrum further away from the rib cage as you roll down. We'll remove the ball and pull the knees into the chest. Okay, let's just roll up to sitting. Okay, rolling like a ball. Not everybody likes this exercise, but I do like to do it sometimes. So a lot of people have a hard time going into flexion, rounding the spine. You feel free, if you're watching at home, feel free to skip this one. To set up, we want to make sure we're kind of forward on our mat because we're going to roll onto our back. We'll bend the knees, grab the front of the knees or the upper shins, feet together, knees come close together. If you can get your knees together, that's great. Go ahead and do that. And then just lift the feet off the mat. And round your spine, pull the belly in and bring the forehead closer to the knees and glide those shoulder blades down. We don't want to smother our ears with our shoulders. The bent elbows are slightly to the outside. So right now, we're holding in our balance point and we're breathing. There's barely going to be any movement in the body, but as we inhale, we roll back. As we exhale, we roll back up and try not to let the toes touch the floor. Let's do it again. We inhale and exhale. Boom, my feet touch the floor. Sorry about that. So I like to pause for a second at the top and kind of regroup and then try it again. Okay, let's try it maybe 3 more times. On your own, going as slow as you want. By the way, the head does not touch the mat either. Last one. Hold in your balance point, hold in your balance point. Tighten up the ball. Relax the shoulders, make the back of the neck longer. Knees a little closer to the collarbones. And rest. So let's release from that by doing a back support. Legs straight and together, feet are pointed. Hands are on the mat behind you. Notice how my fingers are facing forward. It's very important to not have the hands facing backwards. They're forward or slightly out to the side. Lengthen your spine. Lift up the heart, arch the upper back a little bit, lengthen your spine, drop the shoulder blades, lift out of your shoulders, lengthen the spine, legs stay straight. Exhale, just lift the hips up off the mat. Inhale, as you lower, you stay lifted out of your shoulders. Try to keep your heart lifted. We're in a little bit of an arch here, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale up and inhale lower. You don't have to lift up as high as I am. You can lift up an inch off the mat. You're really trying to lift those shoulders up out of the arms, really pushing the hands into the mat. Okay, one more time. And we'll lower. Good. So we're going to do some more rolling. This time we're going to do an open leg rocker. Make sure you're forward on your mat. I find this one a little easier than rolling like a ball. Hold on to the sides of your lower legs somewhere. We're going to have the legs shoulder width apart, the shins parallel to the floor, feet are gently pointed, and we want to try to have a flat back. And then we round our back, and then we're ready to roll back. We'll inhale and exhale back up. We'll try to flatten the back, and then we'll round the back, and then we'll inhale, roll back, and exhale up, flatten, round, inhale, exhale. Let's inhale, flatten, exhale, round, inhale, roll back, and exhale, roll up. Let's pause right here. So if you want to try straightening your legs, now that's okay to straighten your legs if you can still flatten your back. If this doesn't work for you, bend your knees, flatten the back, round the back, inhale, roll back, exhale, roll up, flatten, round, inhale, roll back, exhale, roll up, one more time, flatten, round, inhale, roll back, exhale, roll up, we'll flatten, we'll stay put for another breath, we'll bring the legs together, we'll let go of the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring the legs down. Let's do a spine twist. So flex your feet, bring your legs together, straighten your legs, and then try to sit up with a tall, straight spine. If your spine still rounds here, feel free to bend your knees a little bit. See my couch? I got to lift my arms up a little higher when I twist so I don't hit the couch. I want you guys to not have your arms any higher than your shoulders. Palms are up. We twist to the right. We pulse twice. We come back to center. We twist to the left, pulse twice, back to center. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Out of the corner of your eye, watch your legs and your feet. You don't want to see any movement there. If there's movement in your legs, that means you're twisting your pelvis too. You don't want to do that. Last one to the left. And back to center and rest. Legs apart the width of the mat. Legs are straight, feet are flexed, tall flat back, arms forward, arms connected into the shoulder joints. We inhale and spine stretch, exhale, rounding the spine and reaching forward past your toes if you can. Inhale here at the bottom. Exhale, we'll come back up, restack the spine, and the head comes up last. The action starts in the upper spine and it follows down the spine. And inhale and exhale, stacking the spine, starting from the bottom and finishing at the top. One more time. And inhale and exhale. Restacking the spine and relax. We'll shake the legs out a little bit. Now we're going to do that same move one time and we're going to go into some twisting, into some rotation. So be sure the legs are long, the feet are flexed, we're sitting upright, arms forward. We exhale around the spine. Now as we inhale, we're going to try staying forward, but we're going to try to flatten the back, and then we're going to lift the arms up. I call this a high V position, like the letter V. It's like you're signaling a touchdown. And we're going to hold the arms right there in the shoulder joints. And as we exhale, we twist the rib cage to the right. And as we inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist the rib cage to the left. And inhale back to center. If you're a flexi bendable yoga person, you can probably tilt far more forward than I am, but I want everybody to keep a flat back. You may be sitting upright, and that's okay. One more time, twisting to the right, and come back to center. And one more time, twisting to the left and come back to center. We'll come upright and gracefully bring the arms down. We'll just shake it out. And we're going to do one more exercise with the ball. Let me show you what teaser prep looks like. We already did one teaser, so it shouldn't be that hard. In teaser prep, the legs are up, the knees are bent, legs are together, and you just hold like so. You'll inhale, tilt the upper body back without moving the legs, and exhale, come back upright. But we're going to have more fun with it. We're going to place the ball, if you have a ball, on top of your shins. So the ball will be resting on top of the shins. The ball is not between your legs. If you don't have a ball, just do it with a block like that, okay? So grab the ball in one hand and go into your teaser prep position and set the ball on top of your shins and hold the legs still. Let go of the legs. Your back is almost flat. Inhale, tilt back. Exhale, come up. And two more times. Inhale, tilt back. Exhale, come up. And inhale, tilt back. And exhale, come up and grab the ball and rest. How'd you do? I can't see you, obviously, so if you drop the ball, you don't have to admit it. All right, going into one more bridging exercise, I want you to, let's do a roll down. Legs straight, legs together, feet pointed. Sitting up tall and straight, arms connected into the shoulder joints. Take an inhale. Long exhale, round the spine a little bit, roll back. Lumbar spine comes down first. The rest of the spine follows. Head comes down last. Circle the arms around. Come to your home position. We're going to lift to a bridge. We'll be keeping both feet down. And we're going to be thinking about our pelvis. Usually I have you hold the pelvis squared up, but we're going to be lifting one hip bone a little higher than the other and then switching. It's called hip rotation. So let's get set up. We inhale, we exhale, tuck and float the hips up. If you like, you can watch me for this first one. This move is very small and subtle. We lift our right hip up higher than the left hip, but we don't drop the left hip lower. And then we level them out. And then we lift the left hip bone higher than the right hip bone and level them out. So notice we alternate directions each time. Notice the little rotation in the pelvis, rotation in the hips. Now the knees don't come with you. The knees stay right there in your sagittal plane. The knees don't shift out to the outside or the inside. But it's the one side of the body lifting up higher. You should feel a stretch right along the outside front of the thigh. We have one more to go. The left hip lifts last. Level about, take an inhale, and exhale, lower the spine one vertebra at a time. And it will feel really good to pull the knees into the chest, to move the body around. Okay. All right, let's roll over onto the side. Come to sitting, grab your ball or your block. The ball or the block goes between the feet. We're going to do our side lift. If you've done my class many times, you know how to set up, but in case there are newer people, the spine and the upper arm, or I'm sorry, the lower arm, they're all lined up in a straight line. The hips are stacked and the legs are shifted slightly to the front. We're going to be resting our head on our upper arm. I like to put a folded up towel under my head to get my head more lined up with the spine. Okay, now we're going to take our other hand, just rest it on the floor in front of the chest. Lengthen your spine here, narrow the waistline. Think about moving the rib cage a little further away from the hips. And as you exhale, lift those straight legs up off the mat. They don't have to go very high. Inhale, lower and hover just above the mat. And exhale, lift. and inhale, lower. There might be a little bit of movement in the lower spine. There might be a little bit of a side bend, and that's fine. And inhale to lower. We'll do one more. And go ahead and lower the legs. Now we're going to lose our supporting arm. We're going to take it straight up to the ceiling, wherever it feels good. Be sure you're not hiking your shoulder up to your ear. That's one of my pet peeves. Okay, and we'll do the same move. We exhale, legs float up, and inhale, lower and hover. And we'll do 4 more. And lower. A little bit of a balance challenge. And lower. The abdominal wall stays solid. And lower. We have 1 more to go. And lower the legs. Bend your knees, bring your feet behind you, grab the ball, set the ball aside somewhere behind you where it's out of the way, and push yourself up to your elbow. We're going to do a side kick, and then we're going to add the arc of the upper leg. So the legs are in the same place. Our spine is lifted up and our spine is straight. If you were to relax, you'd slump your rib cage to the floor. We have a lifted rib cage, lifted out of the shoulder, head in line with the spine. This arm goes up. I'll ask you to widen your chest and then just bend the elbow and bring the fingertips alongside the head. We'll lift up the upper leg only, just so it's parallel to the floor. Lengthen it out, flex the foot, bring the leg out to the front, pulse it twice, and then point the foot and bring the leg slightly behind you and pulse it twice. And exhale front and inhale back. So there's very little body weight in that elbow. Most of the body weight is in the lower leg and the hip. Upper body should feel very light. And 2 more. And 1 more. Bring the leg to neutral, lower it for a second. Check your spine. We're going to take that upper leg now and lift it up as high as it'll go with a gently pointed foot. And then we'll arc it to the front, tap the floor, lift it back up, and arc it slightly behind you. Tap the floor and lift it up. And inhale front, and exhale lift, and inhale back. Exhale lift. 2 more sets of that. And lift, and hold the leg lifted. Lift your rib cage a little more, lift the leg a little higher. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it slowly down. Okay, we're going to switch sides. Come to sitting. Bring your towel if you're using a towel. Lie on your other side. Continue to face your screen. Lower arm lined up with the spine, hips are stacked, both legs slightly forward. Supporting hand on the floor in front of your chest, firm up in your center. Here we go. Exhale, lift the legs. Inhale, lower. I forgot to have you put the ball between your feet. Find your ball or your block. And take a mulligan here. So let's do 4 more. We already did 1. Inhale first. Exhale, lift the legs. Inhale, lower and hover. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. 1 more time. And lower. All we do now is take away the kickstand arm. Hold your balance. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower and hover. And 4 more times. Really find your center with this one. We're working from our center. And last one. And lower, very nice. Now we'll bend our knees. Oh, feel that quad stretch right there. That's a nice bonus. Set the ball aside. Towel set aside. Push yourself up to the elbow. Get ready for your sidekick. I've been talking about lengthening the spine the whole class. We want to have a lengthened spine here. We want a nice stable shoulder. I'm going to take the arm up, widen the chest, fingertips alongside the head. Lift the upper leg up to where it's parallel to the floor, straighten it more. This one time you can really lengthen that leg out of the hip joint. We'll exhale, bring the leg forward, pulse, pulse, point the foot. Inhale, bring the leg back, pulse, pulse. Flex the foot forward, point the foot back. Now focus on holding your upper body as still as possible. We have 2 more sets. Last one. Bring the leg to the start position. We'll lower the leg. We'll just recheck our upper body. Your tips back alongside the head. Upper leg lifts as high as possible. Keep it straight. Gently point the foot. Now arc it forward. Tap the floor. Lift it back up and arc it behind you. Tap the floor. Lift it back up. Let's call this the rainbow of joy. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. And one more to the front. And one more to the back. And let's hold the leg lifted and see if we can go a little higher. And then we'll lift that rib cage up. Lift out of the shoulder. And 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower. And rest. And we're going to do something new. So if your knees are nice and healthy and uninjured, you can probably just keep your knee on your mat, like so. We're going to be in, I think in yoga, they call it a gate position, gate pose. I'm going to tilt my screen a little bit upward. Most of us, though, I think are going to need to pad our knee. So we're going to put our left knee on the mat first. You're facing your screen. You have this foot stays down on the ground. Okay, I have this really thick pad. I like it a lot. It feels really good, but you can take a big towel, fold it up, put a couch cushion on, or even just fold your yoga mat up more. We're going to straighten out our right leg. Now that right leg is directly out to the side. The foot is pointed, and the femur bone, the leg bone, is vertical. Okay, so the hip joint's right above the knee. If possible, get your spine vertical too. A lot of you will have to be here, and that's fine. But spine vertical. Let's put our hands on our hips to start the progressions. We're going to side bend to the right toward the straight leg. Now you might not be able to go very far because of the position of the leg. Come back to the top. Now take a careful side bend the other way to the left without falling over, and come back to the top. Let's take the arms straight out. So when we were standing up, we did our butterfly, we had our strap, real similar position. Side bend to the right. I like to inhale here. We'll exhale back to center. Side bend to the left. And exhale to center. Okay. Now you can stop and repeat if that's all enough for you, or maybe we can take the fingertips alongside the head and we'll side bend to the right and come back to center and side bend to the left and come back to center. Good. If you want to progress a little further, my arms are going to go off the screen, but let's take that high V position. Instead of shoulder blades up, it's shoulder blades down. And we'll inhale, side bend to the right. And exhale back to center. And inhale, side bend to the left. And exhale to center. Okay, now fingertips back alongside the head. We're going to add on a little twist. First of all, we're going to side bend to the right without a twist and come back to the center. Now we're going to side bend to the left. No, not side bending all the way, but side bending a little ways. Let's see if we can twist our chest downward to face the mat. And we'll come back and face forward. If that was okay for you, we're going to try 2 more. Nice, and 1 more time. And untwist, and we'll come upright, and we're done on that side. Hopefully your knee is okay. So we got to do the other side. The left leg goes out long and straight now. The side might feel completely different from the other side. Chest facing forward, femur bone vertical, spine vertical, shoulders relaxed, hands on hips. Let's take a gentle side bend to the left. You don't get very far. And come back to center. And a side bend to the right. You should be able to go a little further here. And back to center. We'll take the arms out, shoulders relaxed down, and side bend to the left. We're not trying to touch our leg here, that doesn't matter. And come back to center. And side bend to the right. Again, not trying to touch the floor. Touching the floor is cheating. And come back up. Okay, fingertips alongside the head. Side bend to the left. And come back to center. This is probably too slow for 1 breath, so I'm just going to let you breathe on your own. Just make sure it makes sense. And back to center. Okay, arms in high V position, shoulder blades are dropped. Side bend to the left. Avoid moving the arms and the shoulder joints, just leave them locked in, come back up. Side bend to the right. The weight of the arms makes it a little harder. And come back up. Fingertips back alongside the head, elbows out. Side bend to the left, side bend only, no twist. Come back to the center. And then we'll side bend to the right. Go into your full side bend as low as you can go. And then lift back up a little bit to where you know you can do the twist. Okay, we're going to exhale, twist, chest faces the floor. And inhale, untwist. And again, exhale, twist. And inhale, untwist. You really have to co-contract for this one. 1 more time. And untwist. And with the chest facing forward, come back up. Rest the arms, and we're done there. Very nice. I hope that was good for you. We might do it again someday. Setting your towel or pad out of the way. Let's all face the same direction we were facing, this way, and take a quick rest pose. I'm going to give you about 3 or 4 breaths here just to relax and just kind of release the spine, release your waistline. Soften the body. I think we'll finish up by moving into our swimming progressions. And we're going to start with our back extension. So come lie down on your belly. On Monday, we did our back extension a little differently. We're going to do it the new way again. So go ahead and bring the legs together. You can touch the legs if you want. Feet are pointed. Now the arms, instead of pressing into the side of the body, we're just going to reach the fingertips toward the ankles. The shoulder blades come down. I'm going to take these glasses off. And the nose is floating off the mat and the front of the shoulders are off the mat. Our feet are going to stay down. We're going to lengthen out our spine, draw the belly in. We're going to inhale, lift up into our back extension. The chest lifts up. And the fingertips continue to reach toward the ankles. And then we exhale, lower back down. And again, we'll inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, lower back down. And now when we lift up again, this time we're also going to squeeze our shoulder blades together, which widens the collarbones, and lower down. And 2 more times. Inhale up. And exhale down. And 1 more. Inhale up. And exhale down. And we're going to stack the hands under the forehead, take a little break. Take 2 easy breaths here. In a second, we're going to go into our swimming prep, and then we'll do a little bit of swimming. So arms out to the front in a high V position, palms down, legs slightly apart. Shoulder blades visibly glide down closer to your waistline. Belly pulls in, waistline narrows. The head is slightly lifted off the mat. Try keeping your elbows off the mat. Firm up the left leg and the right arm and lift them up. And hold and breathe. Now that right shoulder blade stays down toward the waistline. And lower the leg and the arm. And reorganize the body. Firm up the right leg and the left arm and lift them up. Keeping them both straight. Left shoulder blade stays down. And breathe. And come down. Okay, if you're not ready for swimming today, then just repeat what we did. Nice slow movements. If you want to go ahead and do the swimming, we want to get those shoulder blades down, arms and legs firmed up, working from our center. We lift up the arms and the legs and we start paddling arms and legs in opposition. And breathe. Does not have to be a big move. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift everything a little higher and come down and stack the hands under the forehead. And it's going to be a few seconds before your body actually releases and softens. So be patient and wait for it. Good. If you're ready, come on up to all fours. Don't round your back just yet. Have a long, straight spine, the head moving further away from the bottom of the spine, and we're going to exhale and round the spine just a little bit. And then we're going to inhale and arch the back, arch as much as you want to. You can lift the head and look forward, and lift the tail feathers. And now we'll exhale and round the spine a little more. And inhale. Again, go into the arch as much as you want. And exhale. Now you should be able to round the spine to your maximum if your muscles feel like they've released. And inhale, arch. We're going to do that 3 more times on your own. I like to go really slow. I like to just monitor that spine and notice which part of the spine is a little bit more restricted, which part of the spine is working really well. I always wonder, can I get a little more than I did yesterday? Let's finish up by rounding the back. Go ahead and finish out your set. And we'll come to neutral. Sit on your mat, face your screen. Straighten your legs all the way and flex your feet. And then sit up with a nice, tall, straight spine. You can cheat and use your hands, push into the floor. If you can't get the flat back, then by all means, bend your knees a little bit. We're going to relax the arms and relax the shoulders. We'll inhale and circle the arms up. We're in our high V. Now we're going to start to roll the spine back a little bit. Then we're going to bring our arms forward and round the spine. And we're going to dive into the pool. Just reach for your toes. If you'd rather not hold on to your toes, you can rest your hands on your shins. We're going to take 2 slow breaths here. We'll all take our last exhale, letting the head drop. And then we'll inhale one more time. We'll stack the spine starting from the bottom. And we watch our spine as it stacks and stacks and stacks, and the head comes up last. And very nice work, everybody. We're all finished. Thank you for joining me.